Are we on?
We are on.
Okay, good morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are.
But it can't be one of those things, can it?
Can be.
Not morning, noon, night. Yeah.
Well, there's nowhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know any other time. Look, we haven't been up for a while. We've had quite a few things going on, and we're trying to get our head around them. The one that comes to mind first up is the fact that on this weekend, is that correct, Evan, on Sunday?
Yes, this Sunday if you're in Australia, and Saturday if you're over in America or something.
Okay, we're doing a round table. We do these occasionally.
This would be our third. I think it's our third. Yep.
Yeah. And the round table involves Auntie Trudy, Dr. Semir, ourselves, and is there someone else involved?
Tara and Manu.
Oh, Tara and Manu, that's right, yeah. Yeah, right, there are. And we're talking about, obviously, Bosnian pyramids to a lesser extent, but just as equally, we're talking about the Pleiadian story. And what Dr. Semir's done is he's had a paper written that's been published by and peer-reviewed and published by a very, very highly respected academic and scientific journal that has accepted his work.
So I've just got that up on the screen at the moment.
Right. So there is an article you can read where it shows you that the alignment of the Bosnian pyramids is identical to the alignment of the seven sisters from the Pleiades. And they work around the same thing. They both basically are placed on a Fibonacci sort of circle, aren't they, Evan?
Yes.
And each place where the stars are is where one of the peaks for one of the pyramids is. And the evidence is really, you can't contest it. It obviously links into the as on top, so below story. So we're going to have a round table to do with that. And for anyone that's interested, next year, as you may or may not know, every year there's a big celebration at the summer solstice in Bosnia, where people come, and many people go to the pyramid for healing, don't they?
They do, yes.
And there's very powerful evidence to show that that's actually happening because of the way the water's been charged and ionized and negative ions. In fact, it's a higher reading of negative ions than that found in the Niagara Falls. So that in itself is an interesting and also important factor in what's going on there. So what we're suggesting to people is, and what we're going to do, is we're going to have the round table conference. And if you're interested in going further and going to Bosnia next year, there's some people in Australia arranging a tour, and we're going to be on the bus, and we're going to be going to all these different places, both there and also in Serbia too, aren't we, Evan?
Yes.
Belgrade and other places. They're doing other things as well, aren't they?
Yeah. So it's for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
As well as the celebrations for the summer solstice.
Oh, definitely. And we'll be speaking at a presentation that's going there. And if you want to become part of that and get on the bus with us and go to all these places over a couple of weeks, and I think there's 2 weeks of it, Evan.
Yes.
I'm not really sure of the date, but I'm sure Ed will find it while we're actually doing some other stuff. So that's one of the things that we're looking at. Second up, I've started writing again. I've got a couple of articles I've written that we haven't put up. I'm sort of in front for the first time in 9 months because I had a block. It wasn't a block, it was just an impasse. I just didn't feel like writing. So I've started doing it again, and we've got a couple of articles coming up. And the one we put up today,
yeah, let me get that one up for you.
Right, is relates to a place called the Mystery Craters, which is a location near Buumabil. And what it is it's a series in probably a 1/2 to 3/4 acre fenced off area of holes. Now, at first glance, you might think, well, a series of holes, what's so important about that? Well, it's called the Mystery Craters. And scientists from all over the world have been to this particular site. Evan's going to put a picture of it, one of them in a sec. And they're at a loss. They don't know what it is. Now, I can tell you, and there's a picture of one of them there, and Evan's going to put it up, that originally some scientists and geologists, no, go to the first one, Evan, and then the second one, some scientists and geologists went and looked at it when they started unearthing these, and they dug out 2 of them. And he walked away and said, sinkhole, Evan. Ever seen sinkholes where you've got rocks on the side and a flat bottom?
No, usually it swallows whole houses. Sinkholes.
Yeah, I know, and it's one hole, not 32. Now, when this guy turned up, when this so-called expert turned up, I think 2 had been unearthed. They hadn't dug them all out. And there are 32 of them. And he put up an article, which I've dismissed, saying, oh, yeah, sinkhole. Well, look, there's another picture of them, and they're everywhere. Now, what mainstream have basically hung on to is they say, not sinkhole, no, that would be silly, meteor strike. The problem is there are 32 holes together, all of different sizes, right next to one another, and it's a meteor strike, and it's hit these rocks, and it's gone down and made perfectly. There's a couple of them there.
Some are quite deep.
Some are deep, and they're all different sizes, and they claim it's a meteor strike. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll explain something to you. When a meteor hits the atmosphere and it breaks up into 32 pieces, they don't all home down together and hold hands, do they, Evan?
Not that I've seen.
They don't sing a song as they all come down and saying, we're going to the earth together, we're not being separated, and we'll all bang into the ground right next to one another. No, when a meteor explodes and opens up, it doesn't stay together, it comes apart. And then as you fall further down, they don't hone and join back up together again. They go further apart because the initial explosion came from within the rock and blew it open. Well, that didn't blow it back inside itself. It didn't implode, it exploded, which means lots of scientists have actually said it could be that, but no one has said it is that. Because if they did and said, oh no, these 32 holes all found within half a meter are one meteor strike, they would immediately point to other meteor strikes on the planet that share the same characteristics. And they don't, do they, Evan? Because there aren't any. So that's a problem. It's a big problem. So we've written an article about it. We've discussed the meteor strike possibility, the sinkhole possibility, and thrown them out. Now, what is it? I haven't got a clue, really. I don't know, but I know what it isn't. I believe it's come from the earth, and I believe that there's something unusual that mainstream haven't got a handle around, and that's why it is called to this day. And it was found in 1972, which is over 50 years ago, isn't it, Evan?
Yeah.
And do you know what it's still called? The mystery craters. Why do they call it a mystery if the experts have been there? It's because they can't come up with an answer. Nor are we, but I can tell you, it became very apparent to me, and I want to share you one thing with you. They did ask 2 elders to come to the site and give their opinion. And of course, the scientists ignored it, didn't they? Well, why would they? I mean, why would they know? It's their land, and they were there before we were. So why would we ask them? Well, they did. And it was interesting because the 2 elders, one called it a creation site and the other one called it a women's site. And what's interesting about the second part of this story about the women's site, he didn't say that until they opened a gate for him and he walked inside 2 steps and turned around and walked out and said, I'm not staying in here. This is a women's site. Then I was told of another person who jumped over the fence without permission and got inside, and it was a male. And he was an Asian guy. He wasn't original. And about 3 seconds after he jumped over the side, he jumped back and told the people, I'm not getting inside there. I feel like I was going to die. Well, he would have. He was a male, and he jumped in without permission, and he did the wrong thing, and he left. So, and then when I got there, and they asked me, did I want to go inside? I'd set my rocks up, and I was standing inside my rocks when they asked, and I was told straight away, no, it's a women's site, don't walk over. But I didn't know the other stories. So we know it's got original significance. We know they believe it's sacred. The site is sacred, but we don't know how it came about. But it certainly is an interesting place. And it's a site that obviously is clearly original, but nobody to this day knows what it's about. Now, Evan's put up a...
yeah, I'll screen this up now for you.
Right, it's going up in a sec, I think.
Scroll through.
Oh, there it is.
So it's
right.
22 nights, 23 days.
23 days. Gee,
Mm.
that's a long time. But yeah, but you're going to see everything, and you'll be part of the ceremonies that take place. Clearly, there are tunnels in there. There's a picture of the tunnels, and of course, mainstream says it's not a pyramid. There aren't tunnels. There aren't anything. Well, they're wrong. This happens to be the largest set, in fact, the largest pyramid in the world. It is 3 times larger than the pyramid in Giza. And at the moment, each year, more and more people are going there. So why not become part of this? And if you do have any lingering health issues or problems, it'll be the place to go, because you'll get a chance to drink the water, to go underneath the pyramid and put your hands on that amazing rock, won't they?
Definitely.
And we've heard so many stories of what's happened when people have done that. And that's why people keep coming back. The media may not cover it, but I do know, to begin with, when Dr. Semir opened the place, 10,000 people went there the first year, and now it's over 250,000. So what does that tell you? Something. Okay, so we've got this Sunday coming up.
This one that I got on the screen now, yeah.
Yeah, the article we've put up about the mystery site up near Buumabil.
Yep.
And what was the other one?
Tour de Bosnia.
Oh, the Tour de Bosnia, yeah. Yep. And there is another thing going on, but at the moment, and it's very important, there's a talk, a 3-day presentation in Byron, but there's still a few things with the site that it's not prepared yet, and we'll do a presentation for that. I'll give you much more information about that in a day or two once it's up properly.
We might be able to talk a bit about it on the weekend, on Sunday.
Yeah.
If not, we'll do a live next week.
Yeah, we'll get it up soon enough, but that's coming up, and that's in Byron, and that's in September, which is not far away. If you're not sure about it, if you look at, I think Nexus is an ad for it, and the next edition of New Dawn that comes out the end of this month, there'll be another ad for it, and you get better ideas about that. But for now, we've had a small problem with the website until it gets fixed up. I don't want to start talking about it too much, because may want to go and look at the information, and it just isn't there at the moment, and it will be in a day or two. We're trying to fix it now.
Okay. So,
all right.
Yeah, we'll see you all in a couple of days.
In a couple of days, yeah, with Dr. Semir and Trudy and ourselves, talking about the Pleiades and the fact that we believe, Trudy and myself and Evan, we believe the Pleiadian stories that is all over the world, and Dr. Semir will talk about that in some detail. It had a base point where it began, and we believe that place was Australia. And we'll give you the information, and we'll try and explain to you why we believe that's the case. And I believe between myself, Evan and Trudy, we present a very compelling case that it began in Australia and went around the rest of the world. Anyway, that's for later. And for now, we'll see some of you people on the Sunday.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. All right.